Alright, so I'm gonna start off with a joke. It's 100% not original, but I thought it was pretty good, so I decided to tell you guys it. Some of you guys might have heard it already. It's a fairly recent joke. What happens when the CIA goes to sleep? Anybody got any ideas?
Yeah, go ahead, mix up.
They go undercover. Pretty close to it. I'm Sebastian Velez. I'm from Chicago, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about my upbringings in Chicago, why I have so much pride for it, my experiences in military school, and about my struggles as being the second oldest sibling and pretty much a father figure for everybody in my family. So I'm 21 years old, lived in Chicago my entire life, and despite what the news tries to portray, Chicago is actually not that bad of a city. It's pretty amazing. If you guys ever go to Chicago, I know a lot of you guys haven't been able to go out and explore. Chicago is probably the best place to go to in the summertime because there's so many different communities and different cultures there that there's always something going on. If I want to go hang out and go to a Mexican festival one weekend, I could do that. If I want to go to a Ecuadorian festival, if I want to go see Ethiopian food, if I want to go, there's so much different cultures that you can pretty much see the entire world just going from one block to the next block. And it's sad that most people, all they ever hear is about is the gang violence in Chicago, when really the gang violence is only an isolated problem. You could go pretty much the entire city and never actually deal with gangbangers, because a lot of people don't really know this, but gangs, kind of like cartels, kind of have their own rules. Most gangbangers in Chicago won't bother you if they know you're not in a gang. My entire life, I've never had issues with gangbangers because they have their own code. They know you, hey, don't mess with that kid. He's not involved in anything. Let him do his thing. So it's kind of irritating to me whenever I hear people say Chirac, because I've lost a lot of good people, really close people, and that whole stereotype of Chirac is just irritating to me. Based off of all that, I decided to make a difference in what I choose in my life. So I went to a military school for high school, which is very unheard of without most people being forced in. Everybody usually gets that excuse thrown at them. If you keep acting up and saying you're military school, well, I went willingly. Chicago is kind of weird for our schools. It's kind of like college, where 7th grade, your grades matter the most, and then 8th grade, you apply to go to different high schools. So if you had good grades, you got into the better high schools, and then those high schools kind of have a reputation for better colleges. I decided to go to a military school because I wanted to get discipline and all that, and didn't really get any of that, but I did get great mentors. All the teachers there are retired military, Navy, Army, Air Force, and some Marines. So I did get a lot of great mentors. To this day, I still talk to you, and I ask them for advice on even the smallest things. Like, how would I approach this situation? Or you've been in for, you served 22 years. What type of situations did you deal with? So that way I can look to them and see how I can better myself. Lastly, I struggled a lot growing up. I came from 2 parents that were former gangbangers. Thankfully now they changed their lives, but I didn't have my father in the picture, and I am the second oldest of 6 siblings. So partially joining the military was more of a personal thing to show them that you can do anything you set your mind to. My whole life I was kind of told that you're a Hispanic kid from a crappy neighborhood, 2 former gangbanger parents, you're not really gonna do much. So every day I kind of wake up and see, what can I do to challenge myself, to prove everybody wrong. So not only did I join the military, I joined the hardest branch. Not only did I make it through that, I made sure I became an NCO, made something of myself, so that way I can show people everything you guys say is wrong, and that way when my siblings grow up, they see that if he can do it, I can do it. And I don't want them to join the military, but if they want to, they can. But I wanted to show them that if you guys want to work hard and keep your mind on one goal, you guys can do it. So pretty much, right now I'm only 21, so my story's still pretty short. But when I eventually go under 6 feet, I want my story to be able to inspire people the same way that people have inspired myself.
Sebastian?
Wonder Lonnie just.
Scroll forward.
Alright, there it is. There it is.
Can you spell your name that way I get the spelling?
KYTLIN.
Okay,
I can actually use that in my speech.
gotcha. Oh,
If I
okay.
can do it,
Hey, why?